Savage CBD strives to help people by offering top-quality, lab-tested, natural CBD at affordable pricing. And it really is affordable. Whether you're new to CBD or have been using it for years, you can always count on all-natural, hemp-derived CBD with the purest ingredients. Savage CBD carefully tests each batch to ensure quality, consistency, taste, and authenticity. They pride themselves on their transparency and believe that you should know exactly what goes into your favorite CBD products. With Savage CBD, you can choose from a range of premium CBD lotions, creams, tinctures, gummies, and so much more. When you look at their website, there are thousands of happy customers who've reported incredible results after using CBD to supplement their daily routine. Overall, Savage CBD's goal is to create the products that empower you to maintain your balanced lifestyle. Whether you need some extra shut-eye at night or you need to find some more calm throughout your day, you can count on Savage CBD to help you reach that goal.
And guys, just for listening to this podcast, you can save 20% on your first purchase of CBD when you use our code BRAD20. So go ahead, my friends, start your CBD journey with Savage, and they'll be there to support you with every step of the way. Simply visit savagecbd.com to redeem 20% off your first purchase of CBD by using code BRAD20 and see why thousands of people are using CBD. Now, Kelly, I've been a CBD user for a little while. I use it when I'm out on the disc golf course. It helps me relax. It's great with muscle aches and pains, and it's really kind of replaced ibuprofen for me. So anybody that's listening to this, guys, check out Savage CBD. We thank them for being a supporter of the Noel Family Foundation, the Bradley's House podcast, and we hope you'll support them as well.
Hey, what's up? This is Evan and Brady from Through the Roots, and you're listening to the Bradley's House podcast.
Possible, but certain things are highly improbable. I don't think I'll meet your kind again, not in this lifetime. That's got some.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. Come on in, make yourself at home, as you should when you're a guest in Bradley's house. I am your co-host, Jarett Orr. She is the sister of Bradley Noel and the executive director of the Noel Family Foundation, and of course, our host, Ms. Kellie Noel. Kelly, how you doing tonight?
I'm fabulous. How are you doing, Jarett?
I am so excited, as of course you know I have been. Excited anytime we get to do a new episode of Bradley's House, but especially excited for today's episode. Now, guys, I really hope you're enjoying everything that we're doing here at Bradley's House. We appreciate all the likes and shares. Of course, you guys know why we're doing the podcast and having these amazing guests each week, and that's to raise money for the Noel Family Foundation to get Bradley's House open, a 6-bed recovery facility for musicians struggling with addiction, regardless of their financial situation. In the description of this show, there will be a link tree on how you can get involved and have your little piece of this story and help out and get everything going there. And Kelly, I know the family certainly appreciates it.
Absolutely. Big time. We've had so much support and it's been fabulous. We still have a ways to go, but we're getting there slowly but surely, and we definitely appreciate everyone's support.
Now, Kelly, we've had some amazing guests the last few weeks. We've had some awesome musicians. We've had some folks from the world of recovery. We've talked about a lot of cool stuff, but I'm telling you right now, getting ready for this episode, I'm as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room filled with rocking chairs. I am ready to get this one going. Kelly, who is our house guest today?
Well, I'm very excited to have this person with us today. Of course, it's someone I've known for, I don't know, somewhere between 35 and 40 years. Not that either one of us could possibly be old enough for that, but a good friend of my brother's. Super honored to have Eric Wilson with us today. Eric, thanks so much for being on the show.
My pleasure.
So you are living in North San Diego County. Is it pretty hot there right about now?
It's just about right.
Oh, good. All right, because I just drove home from work and it was hot out there.
Well, I went to the country in the last week or two, and it's a lot nicer here.
Oh, nice. Right on. So we thought it would be fun to have you on and maybe talk a little bit about the early days of Sublime and then touch a little bit on the new project, Spray Allen, that you have going. Does that sound good?
Yep.
All right. So tell us how you and Brad met.
A friend of mine, musician, took me over to your house and the custom house in Naples, and he told me that we would probably jam good together, and he was right. And
He was right.
I went over there with my guitar, and Brad was better at guitar than I was, so I came back the next day with my bass.
Nice. And you come from a musical family. Tell us about your dad.
My dad, he was a drummer in the big band era, and then he got into jazz, and then he worked for the Long Beach Municipal Band, and he taught lessons out of his garage, and he was a big inspiration to a lot of people learning how to play drums.
Absolutely. So how come you didn't end up being a drummer?
Because he's my dad.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So then why bass?
Because Brad was better on guitar, I guess.
Ah, I see. So you just sort of pivoted to bass.
Yeah. And then I found out I loved it.
And you're pretty good at it. It's worked out okay for you.
Yeah, it sure has.
That's been good. So that was in high school that you guys met, right?
He was in high school. I was in junior high school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was in my last year of junior high school.
Right on. And then, so then he went off to UC Santa Cruz for a couple years.
Yep. And then when he came back for Christmas vacation, I had gotten in touch with Bud, and we got together and jammed, and the chemistry was like so good that Brad decided to transfer to UC Long Beach or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you guys practicing in the garage. The neighbors loved that.
Oh, yeah.
I always thought it was great that Dad would just, give it right back to them instead of being like, oh, yeah, I'll tell them to quiet down. He was just like, relax, they'll be done in a bit.
We got we wrote a lot of songs in Brad's bedroom just with, with our little amplifiers and drums.
With that big futon that he had.
You remember when we used to sit in the room all day, like every day, and make up songs, and you and your friends used to hang out downstairs?
I do remember that. You're right. With no clue of what was taking place upstairs, the things that were being written and that would go down in history. It's pretty amazing. Do you ever just look back and think, wow, how did that all happen?
Yeah, I suppose I do. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was like during the time we thought that we should be on the radio already, but we didn't understand the business side of it.
Yeah, I remember Brad reading books about the business side of music.
Yeah,
certain that he was gonna, get the deal of the century. Although I think you guys did okay.
Yeah,
yeah, it was nice.
We built a following just from playing shows and word of mouth, pretty much.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and then the record companies had to hire us because they didn't want to make us. They didn't want us make money on it without them getting the cut.
Right, as usual.
Yeah, of course, that's how it goes. Now, Eric, the legend probably grows more and more like a fishing story. But give me a ballpark. What do you think the real number of copies of 40 ounce were sold out of the back of trunks?
Oh, geez. I'm not very good with the numbers, but I don't know. Probably a couple thousand. I have no idea.
I'm going to say definitely more than 25.
Yeah, a lot.
There was a lot. That's for sure.
Well, John Won't Pay the Bill is the first one that we sold at cassette.
I think I still have my copy of that. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny, people are talking about the celebration and obviously the 25th year anniversary and the 18 million sold. And I'm like, yeah, what about the 3 million that were sold out of trunks and little apartments throughout Long Beach? Because the legend's growing about how many were sold out there and how many are still lingering around.
There's no accounting for that, probably.
No, I would imagine not.
And always lots of dogs around. Of course, Louie and Toby and whoever else people had. I think it's interesting how people always think that was such an intentional thing, but it was really just because everybody loves dogs.
Dogs make life happier,
Absolutely. How long did Toby last?
He lasted almost 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was an old dog.
He had a long run. I have a tattoo of him.
Do you? That's awesome. Very cool. And then, so you lived in Long Beach until, when was it? Late 2000s?
14, I believe, or something like that.
Wow.
And I just wanted, I wanted to move away just so I could get some breathing space, you know, kind of like your mom's place had breathing space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spread out a little bit.
Yeah. It actually had more than I anticipated. It's 17 acres, and I was only looking for like 2, but the price was right. So
nice.
Beautiful here.
And is it true you have an avocado farm?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you must make some really good guacamole.
Love for you to come over and check it out sometime.
Absolutely. So when you guys first started playing, you mentioned, you know, that when you all jammed together for the first few times, it was obvious there was a synergy. At what point did you think that, you know, that this could be something you could do full time? Like, right from the start, did you think that was the way it was going to be?
Personally, that I was already 100% into it probably within a year of playing with Brad and Bud.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have anything else going for me, so yeah. I never really thought about how I was going to get anywhere, but as long as I kept playing, you know, and kept the faith, you know, I figured it would get me where I needed to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time when you wondered if it would ever happen? I mean, most people who weren't around in the early days probably think that you guys were sort of an overnight sensation, but you worked your asses off, touring all over the place.
Definitely more an overnight sensation.
Yeah. Was there ever a time when you started to lose hope and wondered if it was going to happen?
Not really. I mean, just like at the end when everything, you know, fell apart.
Yeah. Well, definitely then.
Yeah.
That was no fun, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it was cool. You guys got to tour all over the country and did you go down into Costa Rica for sure, right? Yeah,
we went there because Brad was going to bring some girl down there that he liked, and somebody sent from a surfer from there sent a letter to him about how bitch it was, and then the girl that was going to go, she got into a fender bender and her dad wouldn't let her go, so he changed the tickets to me and Kelly Vargas, and
nice.
He took us down. So we played acoustic like in the outside patios and stuff for meals, and but we didn't go down there like book shows or nothing like that. We just went down to the surf and play guitar and stuff.
You said a friend of yours introduced you to Brad and said, "Hey, this is a guy that I think you're going to jam with," and you said you knew, right away you could kind of feel it. But walking away from that, aside from the music, what was a young high school Brad like? Like, what were your impressions of him as a person outside of just being someone you were going to jam with?
Well, I always looked up to him because I was like a high school dropout, and he was like really good in school and stuff. So I always looked up to him. He was just a free spirit,
So when somebody mentions Bradley Noel to the average fan, we think about the music. We think about the hits and the songs and the Sublime tattoo from shoulder to shoulder. When the name Bradley Noel is mentioned to you, Eric, a friend, what's a memory? Is there something specific that you think about? Is there a certain time that you remember when you hear his name?
I just remember just all the good times that we had together and a lot of stuff that he taught me, like he taught me how to that rake, like other music besides punk rock was equally as good, and I didn't know that prior to meeting him.
Yeah, he certainly had a wide variety of music that he enjoyed. Now, you were in some bands before you met Brad. I think there was a question that rolled in through social media. Someone asked about a band that you were in when you were like 15, Contrabanded. Do you remember that band?
Yeah.
What kind of music were you guys jamming? Was it just punk rock there?
It was punk, yeah.
All right.
So was Hogan's Heroes. I remember you guys playing a party at my mom's house.
That was fun.
That's fun.
For a while when I was in Sloppy Seconds with Brad, he forced me into playing like ska and reggae, and it finally like dawned on me how like awesome it was.
At what point do you remember kind of deciding that it was okay? I mean, were you started kicking and screaming for a while?
He was driving the Cherokee.
Uh-huh.
He had those like MTX speakers in the back, and he was playing
Right.
probably half pint or something, and it just dawned on me how awesome it was. And it was fortunate too, because for a bass player, like that's the best instrument to play, like in reggae. Yeah. Like, and if you're playing guitar in reggae music, you fall asleep really easy. Playing guitar or bass in like a metal band, you fall asleep really easy. They bury you in there, you can't hear it. So it turned out really well for me.
All right, now Eric, Kellie's known you for a long time. You guys have been friends forever. She's much more on the. I'm a fan, so I'm going to ask a question here that I've been trying to get to the bottom of for a real long time. One day, it just appeared that Kellie Vargas was out and Bud was back in. How did that all go down? Was it an understanding? Did Kellie know he was just holding a spot until Bud came back? Or what was the...
Basically, Bud, like the chemistry that we had with the three of us was like impeccable. And every time we got another drummer, it wasn't because we wanted to, we had to, because Bud was off doing something crazy or whatever. And we had no choice. So Bud would come back around, and we'd take him back right away. Yeah, simple as that.
All right, makes sense. That's kind of something that it just kind of happened so fast in the story. It's just like one day Kellie's there, and then boom, Bud's back. So I've always kind of wondered how that came, and that was going to be my next question.
He would come around just for like one day and hang out with us, but next day he was already playing with us again. One time we were going on the road up to like Washington, and he helped build the frame of the bed that went over the equipment in this van, and then we went on the road with Kellie, and then when we came back, he was playing with us after that.
Well, that was going to be my next question, but you answered it. Obviously, the three of you guys were the right mix. That was the band that you preferred, and it certainly shows in the music.
Yeah, from my experience, like the better drummers are always harder to deal with. Keith Moon, I didn't know him, but I know this guy named Wade, and he's out of control, and he's a great drummer.
Yeah, the drummers are always a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Well, it's known to be. So
like Animal, on Sesame Street.
Right,
exactly. Even fucking Jim Henson knew. So, yeah, absolutely. So, you guys you're getting rolling. Obviously, Job Won't Pay the Bills, 40 Ounce, Robbing the Hood. And now it's time for self-titled, and you guys kind of got to the studio and didn't even have a full song list ready to go. What was that like? Was that just like late night writing sessions, scrambling to get these songs done while you were there?
I never really worried about it, because we always like pulled it together no matter what, whether we had songs or not. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be like that groundbreaking, but yeah, I think we worked really good under pressure.
Clearly. So that was going to be my next question. Again, as you're making this album, did it, aside from obviously everything else that was going on, just the music, did it feel any different to you than the first 2.5, I guess you want to call it?
It sounded more mature, because we had the guidance of Paul Leary, someone, a producer that we looked up to, and yeah, it was a more mature version of us, I guess.
Minus the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip and stuff like that, but it was definitely a more mature sound, for sure. Yeah, it certainly was. Now, do you have a as being a member of this from straight through, do you have a favorite Sublime album, and is there a reason why that one is your favorite?
Probably Robin the Hood, because like the title of the album is exactly what it meant. Like we basically got free studio time by, you know, in some cases robbing it kind of in a way. We didn't have to pay for anything how we did that album. Like Brad was staying at some condemned house that these squatters were staying at. It has like a earthquake fault line that went through the living room, and he sat in there with like a drum machine and wrote songs. And Epitaph Records invited us to go to their studio to record because they wanted us to sign to them. And we went in there and we did a couple of songs that were on the album. And the engineer, he was conditioned to record like Bad Religion, where they bury the bass in it. You don't really hear it. And when we were mixing the song, the engineer was like, we said, turn the bass up. We can't hear the bass. And he's all, no, this is how it's going to sound. And then he took off to lunch or something, and we snuck up the bass, and then we made a dupe of it, and then we left before he got back. Stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Robin the Hood has, I mean, a lot of Sublime is very strong bass. I don't have to tell you that. You're there doing it. But like, you know, a song that comes to mind, STP, I mean, that's like, the bass is like the feature of that song.
Yeah, that's a very bass heavy song. It's hard. I haven't played that in years. I probably have to practice that one.
No, it's like riding a bike. It's got to come. It's got to come right back to you, I would imagine. But just, you know, so much amazing stuff that you've done, and so many Sublime fans out there that are just so thankful, and you know, those albums, and we get messages all the time, and I'm sure you hear it all the time.
Yeah, that's what keeps me wanting to play music. All the time people come up to me and they thank me for getting them through hard times that, you know, that they didn't think they would make it, and the music got them through, you know, and that means like so much.
That's really powerful when you think about it. Just like, you know, when we talk about the fact that people are so impacted by the music, and just to know that that something you created has impacted so many people that you'll never even meet and never even know about, and in a positive way. That's really, I don't know, that's intense.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be that helpful. I'm so glad to be.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, we get so many messages from people that, you know, thanking Kelly for, you know, what we do here on the podcast, because the music had meant so much to them. And, you know, it's just, it's crazy. I can't imagine how much of that you hear while you're out there. And now seeing it all kind of come full circle, because Jacob is all grown up. He's got a band of his own, and you've actually been playing some gigs with him. Dude, what's it like to see Brad's son as a man out there performing the music that he wants, the way that he wants to do it?
Oh, I think it's great. You know, it's awesome that he has his own style and everything, and I'm totally proud of him. We're playing with him this weekend or something in San Pedro.
Yeah, I saw that you guys have some shows coming up, and that's with Spray Allen, which is a new project that you're a part of, because obviously you have too much free time, Eric. So you decided to get this new project, Spray Allen, going, and it's been blowing up all over all of my social media. Tell us a little bit about this project, man.
It's really cool. I mean, actually, when I first met these two kids, Daniel Launer and Eric Sherman, Wade Yeoman, the drummer, brought them around, and they said they, you know, wanted to jam, and we jammed a couple times, and then I had my son come over. I was going to try to get him a job playing bass for them, and at the end of the day, like, they're like, I go, yeah, I was thinking he would play bass for you guys, and they're like, no, we were thinking you would play with us. And I'm like, what? Okay.
You out auditioned your kid? Come on, EW.
Yeah, I didn't know what they had. I didn't know like this how special it was until till we started jamming, and then we started writing some stuff, and then I was like, whoa, this is like, I swear the chemistry feels like a lot like back when Brad and Bud were jamming with me.
That's awesome.
Yep, without the reggae beat, but it's got every other beat you can think of.
Okay, so what kind of music do you guys play?
It's really hard to say. We play different. Every song is a little bit different, and like Sublime, and I'd like to say it's probably modern psychedelic or something like that. Intrigues your senses.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm already intrigued, and I've already been checking a little bit of you guys out, and it's just really cool to see you, doing this new fresh project. And then, when I saw that you were playing some shows with Jacob, I was like, man, that's really cool. To be back on the road with a Noel, and this one is he's kind of tame. It's not going to be as crazy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Mike Watts shows up, the bass player of the Minutemen, because he lives in San Pedro, and I think he's friends with the drummer of.
With Nick. Yeah, Nick's played with Mike for years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid is special. He is. He's on another level. He's amazing. That band is they are really coming together, and it's cool to see their new stuff coming out. And I always kind of think, and Kelly, you've talked about it a million times on the podcast, how incredibly proud of Jacob you are, and how cool it is watching him do his own thing. And I often think, about Brad's friends that were playing with him and seeing it and what it was like for them.
I think he's done a great job of just creating his own sound and following his own path and finding his own voice. And it's been a lot of fun to watch these past, I think, 7 or 8 years he's been playing with his band.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of fun. I think it's great you guys are playing shows together too. It just makes everything seem really, full circle.
Well, Eric, I know that you are you're super busy, and to be able to have you on this podcast is an absolute honor for me. I've said it a million times on this podcast that on July 30th, 1996, 2 things happened. I became a teenager, and self-titled Sublime was released, and the rest has been history ever since then. So to now be in a position to be able to chat with guys like you and Michael and Marshall, and to be able to work with Kelly and alongside the Noel Family Foundation to help get Bradley's House open is an absolute dream for me. And I can't thank you enough for taking some time to come and chat and let our fans hear a little bit about what you got going on and hear some fun stories from the past, man.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that Kelly's pursuing her, her dream about being on the air. When she was younger, she was doing like a news channel or something like that. Right?
Wow, you've got a great memory. Yeah, I got a degree in broadcast journalism. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Things change.
Yeah,
I'm only doing this because Jarett talked me into it, though, to be honest.
I was going to say, Eric, I thought I had it all lined up. I'm like, man, I really want to do a podcast and talk about this, Long Beach music sound, and talk about Brad and Sublime and help spread word about the foundation. And Kelly went to school for broadcasting, and holy shit, this is all perfect. And I lined it all up for her, and she was like, I'll get back to you, kid. Thanks. I was like, well, I hope you don't think I'm going down that easy. And here we are now. So,
well, thank you so much for taking the time with us, Eric. I see a dog behind you. What dog is that?
That's Melvin. He's got a heart-shaped butt. And he's like the coolest. He's been swimming all day, so he's totally tired.
Oh, God, he's so cute. Yeah. Is that the only dog you have right now?
That I have. And then there's this other dog. I forgot his name, but she's pretty psycho, and she likes to swim all day long. But I love all dogs, as long as they're not biting me, But this is my boy right here.
Most of the time, dogs are more enjoyable than people. So.
And I have a cat named Psycho that grooms my dog, and they sleep together and stuff.
Oh my God, that's
awesome.
Now, Eric, everyone that comes on this show, I ask them one question. I've got to ask you, in a crazy world where you come across somebody who's never heard of Sublime and they say to you, well, play me one song and let me see if this is a band that I could get into. Now, I know it's a little tough because they're all your babies, but if you had a chance to hook somebody with one Sublime song, what would you play for them?
Oh, geez. I don't know, probably Santeria, maybe?
Yeah, that would work. That song turns out that one worked out okay for you guys.
Yeah.
Jarett, you played that video for me recently from YouTube. I guess there's different people that do these videos where they listen to a song they've never heard before and film their response. And that was Santeria. And I thought it was so funny. The kids were like, from the name, from the title, we thought it was going to be a really hard song, like, a really hard sound. And instead it's like this kind of happy, lilting song. And I just thought that was really funny that expectation, because of the subject matter of the title made them expect that it was going to be something super dark, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Sung so beautifully about killing the man that's fucking your old lady. It's an amazing,
like
it's an
you
amazing
do.
tune. You're right. No, absolutely. So, well, Eric, thank you so much. We're going to share links to Spray Allen in all the descriptions of the show here, so everybody can check you guys out. And thank you again, man. This was a dream come true for me, and I'm sure all of our listeners.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Well, Kelly, I don't even know what to say. To be able to have Eric come on and chat with us for a Sublime fan like myself and so many of our listeners, a dream come true. I know for you, it's somebody that you've known for, well, we can't say really how long, right? You guys have known each other for a few years.
A long time.
But for myself, it was just an amazing experience, and to be able to hear how he still holds those memories so close and how highly he thinks of Brad, and just it's really a dream come true for me. And I don't know, I'm almost speechless after that.
It was a lot of fun talking with Eric. It was really great to reconnect with him. And, he'll always be a special part of my family's lives. And so that was really fun. Really enjoyed having a chat with him. And I'm excited for everything that he's got going with Spray Allen and, all the exciting projects coming up.
Yeah, it was really amazing when I reached out to him and said, "Hey, I'm from the Bradley's House podcast. I work with Kelly Noel. Do you want to come on the show?" And he was like, "Yeah, I do." And I was just like, oh my God, this is gonna fucking happen. So yeah, it was really great, and I hope that I know that the listeners enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed being a part of it. In fact, there were times where I was listening to him talk and tell stories, and he would stop talking, and I went, oh shit, that's me. I'm not just listening to a podcast. It's my turn to talk now. So it was really, really incredible. And like I said, I can't be any more thankful for him giving us some time and coming on and chatting with us for our listeners. So as exciting as having Eric on the podcast was, this podcast, as you guys are listening to it, is September 22nd. Huge, exciting news from Bradley's House by having Eric come on the podcast. But Kelly, some big, huge, exciting news for the Noel Family Foundation as well, right?
Yes, we are having our very first auction event, and the bidding opens today, Wednesday, September 22nd at noon Pacific time. So if you haven't gone on to check out the website, make sure you do. There's lots of really cool stuff on there. We have almost 50 different items for people to bid on, and the bidding will go until Wednesday, September 29th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you check it out. We've got a great collection of things there. We've got tickets, we've got memorabilia, we've got artwork, we've got sports stuff, we've got merch packages, all kinds of great things, some instruments. So I'm really excited, and I know that everyone's going to love checking everything out. And big thanks to Positive Legacy and all the people who donated these wonderful items. We absolutely couldn't have done it without any of you guys. And also, I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are going to be at Reggae Rise Up Vegas, October 9th and 10th. So I'm super excited about that. We'll be doing some podcast interviews. We'll be having a Noel Family Foundation booth. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the lineup for Reggae Rise Up Vegas is just fantastic this year. Super stoked about that. And I do have one more thing that I'm really excited about. We have a new sponsor, Savage CBD, as you've all already heard. We're really excited to have them be a part of what we're doing with Bradley's House podcast. So big thank you to the people at Savage CBD.
Absolutely. Savage CBD, their support is going a long way for us. Like you said, Reggae Rise Up. I'm super excited. Holla at your boy when you see him in the street. I'm ready to get out there and make this thing happen. And guys, this auction, if you're listening to this right now and you're thinking, you need to hop on there, you need to check it out. If you're a sports fan, Kelly mentioned it. There's an amazing baseball glove that was signed by Joe Musgrove. That is just, I was looking at the pictures of that. There is signed merchandise from bands like Revolution and, like you said, ticket packages. Guys, hop on there, check it out, because there's a lot of really awesome stuff that you probably want that you didn't know that you wanted, and all of the proceeds go to an amazing cause. So here's an opportunity to treat yourself for something kind of cool, and also help the Noel Family Foundation in getting Bradley's House up and open. As you know, that is the goal of this podcast and all of the work that Kelly and all the board members and everybody has been putting in. So make sure you're checking all of that out, guys. And bid often, and get in there, and don't, pick out what you want and go for it. Go hard, guys.
Absolutely.
So this is something that's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody hop in there and check out all these items and seeing people bid on things that they know they want to get into. And again, like I said, all the proceeds go to getting Bradley's House up and open. So bid early and bid often, guys. Now, at the end of every podcast, we always end you guys with a song, and typically it's an awesome song off of the compilation album, The House That Bradley Built, that is still available at law-records.com. If you haven't picked that up yet, pick it up. But today, it was a special episode. We had Eric Wilson on. As you mentioned, Kelly, he's got that new project, Spray Allen. They're really an awesome group. It's really a unique sound. Make sure you're checking out Spray Allen on social media, and you can find them on YouTube, including this single. This is Stay Clean from Spray Allen.
Stay clean, you know what I mean. Dirty mama farm. If you give a damn about money, you shouldn't pick up the phone. Yeah, you can't take nothing from me, dawg. And in the long haul, all good boys be scared. Yeah. Steal that Mustang, joyride, trash the bedroom side to side. Alright, break the bank, get some good loving. Who got the bacon? The kids starving. If your mama raised you proper, clean up your dirty, do your laundry. Nah, nah, nah. Stay clean, you know what I mean. If your mama raised you proper, if something smelling too funky, you might be money hungry. Be a dog, look for a bone. Oh, lay in the grass where it's sunny. All good boys now know. So, whoa. Call up your ex-chick. Not nice. Independent. trapper. If you grew up the trappers, if your mama was a trapper.